Hey YouTube, it's Grace, and in this week's video I'm going to be making another original pixel painting. I decided to really challenge myself this week. I say this week as though this painting didn't take me like 7 weeks. But anyway, I wanted to challenge myself, and so I decided to do a painting that was 17,464 pixels. There's a band I really like called Good Kid, and I saw them last year in Chicago, and I managed to get a photo pass, and I took a really neat photo, which I will put right here. Content photography is something that I really enjoy, and painting is something that I really enjoy, so I decided for this video to combine them. So I decided to paint that photo. From start to finish, it took me 54 days, which included finding the reference photo, pixelating it, making the grid, filling out the grid, finishing the painting, getting prints made, listing those prints on Etsy, which are right here if you would like to see them, and filming and editing this video. This is by far the most complicated painting that I've ever made, but I absolutely love how it turned out, and I am so excited to show you the process. So let's get into it. Now, I actually got some new paints for this painting specifically, and I'm really excited to try them out. First, I got a clear primer, which I didn't even know this existed, but I'm going to use this over the grid instead of white paint, and hopefully it won't smear it as much because the squares are going to be really tiny on this one. And then I got some like neon paints because I thought I really need the colors to pop, because this is like a concert photo, and in real life they were super vibrant, and I just have a really hard time recreating neon colors, so I did buy some. And then I also got an iridescent black graphite color, so I'm really excited to see how these look. But before I can paint, I have to make the grid. And just for reference, starting time 6:59 p.m. Let's see how long this takes. I am kind of scared. Okay, so I tried to figure out the best way to do this, and based on girl math, I divided this into 4 sections. And so now each section has to have 37 tiny little marks on it, because 4 times 37 is 148, I think. Because I don't want to just do 148 across all the side, because if I mess up then I have to like start over, but if I work in smaller pieces then it's just a little bit easier. Well, I finished the pencil outline of the grid, and a time check 8:20. I went through almost 4 whole pieces of graphite just drawing that out. Now it's time for primer. I'm a little bit nervous about this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. The clear primer was such a good idea. It almost made it like easier to see the grid because of the increased contrast, so I'm super happy with this. But anyways, I just need to wait for this to dry and then start painting. It's been a couple days since I finished the grid, so this is completely dry, and just staring at it, I am insanely intimidated by this, but also like really excited to start. I think the easiest way to go about this is kind of similar to what I did with the last painting, and just go in and fill in all the black pixels first. That way I sort of have an outline of like the microphone, and then maybe like a few places like the shadow here that the guitar casts, and then around his face, and then maybe around here. Then I'll kind of be able to base where the other things go off of that. And for anyone wondering how I'm going to do this, because I'm probably not going to film it because I really need to focus, is I'm going to zoom in a lot and count how many pixels over and down, and then just fill everything in the best I can on here. I'm a little scared because this took 30 minutes. I actually had to go out and buy smaller brushes, and I got like the tiniest ones that I could possibly find. I ended up filling in pretty much all of the mic stand, so I'm going to move on to basically what other black pixels I can find and just fill in as much as I can before I get tired for today. This is what 90 minutes worth of painting looks like. I think I filled in most of the black pixels, but this is the end of day 1. It's been over a week since I've been able to work on this, but I'm back. I finally have time. Today, I think I'm gonna focus on doing his face, and then after I finish that, I don't know, I'll maybe be spontaneous. Zooming into the reference a bunch, I just see a lot of different shades of brown and tan, so I'm just going to mix a whole bunch of them on one of these plates and fill them in. So this looks like really trippy, like crazy detailed, and y'all are not gonna believe this. This took me 50 minutes. So if that gives you an idea of how long this painting is going to take me, I'm terrified. So I tried to start doing like the neon lights because it gives kind of like a halo effect, honestly, and I thought it looked really cool, but these paints are like making my eyes trip out so bad. So instead I'm focusing on the blues in his shirt, which I'm using this really light blue color that I mixed previously, so I don't have to worry about making a new one. If you count the day that I made the grid, then this is technically day 3, but if you just count painting, then day 2. But here is a progress update. I'm working on this 2 days in a row, which is really surprising and awesome, but today I'm going to try to fill in the shoes. As you can see, there are a few different shades of dark red, as well as the medium red, and then more of an orange. So yeah, let's get this done. So I did most of the shoes, but then I got bored, and then I did a little purple, and then I got bored, and then I filled in some white. I can't seem to work for more than like 90 minutes to 2 hours at a time because this just strains my eyes so much. And the neon paints were a lot thinner than I thought they'd be, so these really light spots and then bright colors are going to take a few coats. This is the 3rd day in a row that I'm working on this, which is super awesome. But anyways, today I'm working on his legs because currently he doesn't have any. And as you can see in the reference, there are quite a few different shades. A greenish blue, darkish grayish, greenish blue. I don't know. I started by mixing this darkest one, which I took a color that I already had, which was a darkish grayish green, and I just added some blue and gray to it. But then I'm going to use this as the base for the lighter ones and just add white and gray probably. But it's always a surprise it's always a surprise when the tide comes in, when the tide comes in. I am a little over 2 hours in today. I got a lot of his legs filled in, and I also started messing with the lights in the background. These are gonna need a lot of blending colors once I really get into it, but I think they're gonna look really cool done. I just did the math, and I am about 9 hours in already, which is absolutely insane to me. But it's really starting to come together, so that's really cool. I'm officially on day 4 in a row of working on this, so that's super awesome. I'm gonna be working on the backdrop that they had at the concert for this show, which is like the Good Kid logo character. I'm just starting with a really bright pink, but then I'm gonna mix some more like purples, magentas, blues, a bunch of those. This is about an hour of painting. Sadly, I broke my painting streak. I took a day off yesterday, but today I'm back and I'm gonna work on this part of the lights. About an hour of progress in today. I did a little bit of pink on this side and then a few different shades of pink and white on top. Another day, another painting session. This time I'm gonna work on the lights more. Here's my progress from about 80 minutes of painting today. The good news is that I think my eyes have finally adjusted because they aren't bugging out. Like, I've gotten used to how tiny the pixels are, so I'm happy about that. I did the dark blue, a slightly lighter blue, and a few gray pixels. So this was another hour's worth today. I have made an executive decision that my next painting is not actually going to be more complicated than this, because otherwise I think I would like fall behind on every other aspect in my life because it would take so long. The website that I usually use to make my pixel reference images, I realized it has a feature where you can add like color schemes. I don't know, but like it only includes the colors that you add, and it makes it so much more simple, but it still keeps a lot of the details. So I think for the next one I'm gonna do that, because this is gonna look really cool, and like I don't regret it at all, but it's just not sustainable because it's taking so long. I am over 13 hours in at this point. I'm sorry I didn't really narrate much this weekend, but this was my progress over, I think, Friday, Saturday, and part of Sunday. I decided to simplify part of the colors up top just because this is just really complicated. I'm definitely going to go in and add the same amount of details as here after the second coat, but here's how it's looking so far. I am about 17 hours in. For the lights, I did a lot of different shades of purple and pink, starting with darkish bluish purple and then sort of working my way warmer into this part of the painting. I also did some work in this area here, so we have some light blues with like green mixed in, a bunch more different shades of purple, and then I did this section here, which is just a cool and warm dark purple. Here's another hour's worth of painting, mostly pinks and purples towards the left on the lower half, but also just some random pixels throughout. You know what? I think this is really starting to come together. I am almost 25 hours in at this point, and lately I've spent a lot of time trying to fill in the little gaps that I'm missing. I am just shy of 29 hours into this painting, and I have finally finished the first coat, which I am so excited. The first coat of a painting is always the most difficult and time-consuming, tedious part of the whole thing, so that is done. All I have to do now is make second coats for all of these colors and then blend them out, which sounds like a lot of work, and it is a lot of work, but it is nothing compared to what I've already done. Here's a little update on how the blending is going. So these colors here are blended, as are these, and these obviously are not. And from further back, it gives it sort of a blurry effect, which is what I'm going for the lights in the background. So I'm gonna walk you through how I do it for these. The first thing I do is I take these two colors, which I just have mixed. So this one and this one. And the first thing I'm going to do is mix them 50-50. Now that I have this color, I'm going to use it to blend them out. This is looking a bit better, but the line is still pretty harsh, so I'm going to take the color that I just put down and mix it 50-50 with this purple to get even more of a transition color. Looking better, but I still feel like I could blend it a little bit more, so I'm going to do that same process, just taking the most recent blending color and mixing it 50-50 with the purple. Now for blending it the other way, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing, so just taking that first transition color and mixing it 50-50 with the lighter purple. And one really important important thing to keep in mind with this is that the paints I'm using, which are acrylic, will dry slightly darker than how they appear now. So it looks like the exact same color, but once it dries, you'll see there's a slight variation there. If you compare this purple spot on the top to the pink ones next to it, you'll see that it looks so much more blurry and blended, and that is what we're going for. So I'm gonna take this section and do the exact same thing with the rest of the lights. Just for reference of how long I've been spending on this painting, I started it at the very end of January, and I'm now on spring break. The lights in the background are looking pretty good and pretty blended at this point. There's still a few things that I want to fix, but I think I'm going to move on to doing the second coat and the blending here, and then up on the mic stand. So I walked down the back before the second set settled my debt. The second coat of this area is looking pretty good, and the mic stand is also looking pretty good. I am almost 53 hours in at this point, so we are well above like second place even. This is by far the most complicated thing I've ever done. And I'm really hoping that within the next 2 to 3 days it will be completely done, and then I'm going to call a place and try and get prints made of it. Okay, so I may have lied slightly because it's not the next day. It's actually been a few days, but the painting is completely done and I got prints made. Here is a close-up of the finished piece so you can see all of the details and the blending colors that I used because, oh my goodness, I think it turned out so good. I'm so proud of this. And here it is from further back. Don't mind the glare. I'll put like a photo here so that you can see, you know, without the glare. This is how I'm currently displaying it. I'm hoping in the next couple months to finish this painting and then have another couple posters to add on this side. And over here you can see the prints that I got made. They are 11 by 14 inches. If you are interested in getting one for yourself, I will have them on my Etsy shop. If you can't afford one, then no worries at all. No pressure ever to buy anything from me. But if you would like to support me, then shopping at my Etsy shop is a great way to do that. But that pretty much concludes this video, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like to see a higher quality picture of it, I have one on my Instagram, and if you were interested in seeing any of my other art, I post on TikTok a lot as well. Hopefully it doesn't get banned, but anyways, I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!